Hey y'all, it's Elijah here, and I'm making this video on March 28th of 2015. I wanted to make this video today to talk about why I'm having surgery in 3 weeks. Actually, a little bit over 3 weeks. I leave 3 weeks from tomorrow to go to Florida, and then a couple days after I get there, I will have my surgery with Dr. Garamoni. But still, either way, it's really close. So I wanted to talk about why I'm having it and why it's so important to me. The truth is, a lot of trans people choose not to have surgery. Some trans people choose to have multiple surgeries. Some choose to be on hormones for the rest of their life. Some choose not to be on hormones forever. Some choose not to be on hormones at all. And that is because we're all different. There's no cookie cutter mold for like the best trans person. And that's what it's really exciting, actually. One of the really exciting things about our community, we can choose to do different things with our lives because we're all different people. So personally, I was on testosterone for 2 years and decided that that's not something that I want to continue for the rest of my life because of personal reasons, health things, and all of that. But top surgery has been something that has been on my mind for 6 years, and the main reason why I'm having surgery is because, um, truthfully, I cannot bind my chest for very much longer. When I was 17, I admitted to myself that I was trans, and I didn't know what that would look like. I didn't know if I would have any surgery or start hormones, but I knew that I wanted to transition in some way from female to male. So a couple days after I admitted to myself that I wanted to transition, I called one of my best friends on the phone and I said, "Hey, let's go for a ride. I need to talk to you about something." And really, like, driving around in my buddy's truck is the only thing that we ever did when we were 17 years old in Arkansas. That's just how it is around here, I guess. But um, so he picked me up, and before we even left my street, which is not a very long street, before we even left, I told him, I think I might be transgender, and I want to transition from female to male. And he had never met a trans person before and didn't really have much experience in the queer community. Um, so he didn't know how to help me, but he was supportive, and we talked about binding my chest. And sorry, I'm out here with all these animals, and they're making funny noises. Anyway, so we talked about binding my chest and what that would look like, and I think he mentioned the movie Boys Don't Cry, which is a really sad movie about a trans guy named Brandon Tina. And in that movie, Brandon bound his chest with an ace bandage. At the time, I had not had a chance to do much research about chest binding, and there wasn't a whole lot of information online at the time about chest binders. So I just thought, okay, I'll buy an ace bandage and bind my chest with it. And this 17-year-old, really stupid version of myself went into Walmart that night with my buddy, bought one of those, the long ace bandages that's made for like back compression, and I went home, went into the bathroom after everyone fell asleep, and I prayed that no one would wake up and ask me what I was doing because I didn't know how to explain all of this. Um, and I remember freaking out because I didn't know how I would feel wearing that chest binder for the first time. I didn't know. Um, I didn't know if it would feel wrong in some way or if it would feel really right. And both of those things scared me. Both of those possibilities really scared me. So I put the ace bandage on and pulled on a hoodie over it. It was the only like men's shirt or clothing that I had. And I use air quotes because I think that it's ridiculous that clothing is marketed toward men or women. But anyway, um, that was the only thing that was like labeled a man's shirt. So I put it on, and I remember crying, looking at myself in the mirror and feeling like this is what I'm supposed to look like for the rest of my life, and I don't know what that means. And so it scared me, but it felt really good and more right than I'd felt through most of my life. So I started wearing my ace bandage to school, um, and I remember the first day that I walked into high school wearing my chest binder and men's clothes and having a buzz cut. First time I showed up like that, some of my friends that knew me well said that it took them a second to recognize me because they thought that I was just this new guy that showed up at school. And They were probably kidding. They were probably trying to make me feel good about myself, but man, it did make me feel really good, and it felt right. And I knew that I had to keep doing that, even though it hurt, even though the ace bandage made it hard to breathe and bruised my ribs. Um, Even though ace bandages are made to get tighter the more that you stretch against them. So with every breath that I took, the ace bandage was getting tighter on my chest. Even through all of that, I knew that I would never feel complete or whole until people recognize me as a man, or at least as a gender-free person. So thankfully, a few months after that, I bought my first real chest binder, and that made things easier on me, but I still bruised my ribs. I still had trouble breathing, and almost 6 years later, I have chronic pain because of years of wearing this chest binder. I can't sit or stand for very long periods of time, and even going for long walks, I struggle to breathe. I can't run, I can't exercise, I can't do any heavy lifting. It takes me a minute to walk upstairs sometimes, and my body feels a lot older than it is, and that's because I've been constricting it and compressing it for years. So um, when the opportunity came up a few months ago for me to book my surgery, I took that opportunity, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. I'm even more grateful for the fact that I'll never have to wear a chest binder again in 3 weeks. Taking it off and donating all of my binders to other guys who need them, and I'm hoping that they don't have to wear them for as long as I have, because it's really hard to wake up every day and to choose between physical health, which means not binding, or emotional health, which means binding my chest so that people recognize me as a man. And so that's why I'm having surgery, because I can't keep making that choice, because eventually my body's just going to give up. And so, yeah, that's what is going on with me, and I'm really glad that people have been asking me about that, because I'm just excited to be open and transparent about my experiences. So many trans people before me have been really transparent and really open about everything, and those videos that I watched on YouTube for years, and those blogs that I read, and those people that I talked to, they helped me be okay with myself. So I hope that maybe this will help someone in some way. Yeah, so that's that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is what the week of surgery is going to be like for me. Most guys that are preparing for surgery want to know this. I know I've wanted to know. So basically, I'm having surgery with Dr. Charles Garamoni, who is one of the most renowned surgeons in this field. I feel very safe and comfortable with him, and I'm really excited about that. On April 19th, I am flying down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Leland or Bonnie or someone from New Beginnings Retreat will be picking me up from the airport, where I'll be staying for 9 days before and after top surgery. Basically, New Beginnings Retreat is a house in Florida with lots of bedrooms for people that are having surgery to stay with their family members or friends, or alone if they don't have anyone to go with them. And the owners, Bonnie and Leland, they take care of guys and take them to all of their appointments and help them pick up their prescriptions and do everything that needs to be done, because it's such a stressful time, and community is really valuable during that week of surgery. And obviously, like, during other times of transition too, but I imagine that the community will be really precious to me during that time. So anyway, someone from New Beginnings will be picking me up from the airport, and then the next day I go in for my pre-op appointment, where I'll meet Dr. Garamoni for the first time, and I can't imagine what that's going to be like, because I've been watching videos of him for like 5 years, but I'm excited to meet him. And he'll like mark on my chest and like show me where everything's going to be, the incisions and nipples and everything like that, and we'll talk about my surgery for a little bit, and then I'll go pick up my prescriptions for pain meds and antibiotics and all of that stuff, And then later that afternoon, my best friend will be getting in to Florida on a bus because she's going to be staying with me for the whole week, and I'm really grateful for her. Um, so that's exciting. She's coming into town that day. So that night, I'm sure we'll be like laughing and relaxing and trying to get our mind off of the crazy surgery stuff that's going to happen the next day. Um, yeah, and then on April 21st, I go in early in the morning to the surgery center to have my surgery. It's outpatient. I will be there for a few hours for surgery and then a few hours after surgery until I'm like more awake and aware of what's going on. And then we will go back to New Beginnings Retreat, and I will stay there until April 27th when I go back to see Dr. Garamoni and have my blood drains and bandages removed. And that afternoon, I will get to come home to Arkansas, and I will be kind of on bed rest for a couple weeks after that. So that's the rundown of what's happening, and I'm sure I'm going to be making videos. Hanan, my best friend, wants to make videos with me while I'm in Florida, so I'm sure we'll talk about like detailed stuff of what's going on and my experiences and stuff. So if you have any specific questions about my surgery or about my transition in general or anything really, then let me know and I will answer that in my next video. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye.